Welcome to the Goat Show, the show where we celebrate and debate all things great. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Fresh and Deezy. Gentlemen, welcome. My name is ZiLLY, aka Ravine. Um, and on this episode, we have an amazing guest coming up, someone that is a veteran of the hip hop scene, independent creator. Uh, Man, just a storied career. But before we get to him, Fresh, what do the people at home, what do the hip hop fans at home got to do?
You gotta like, subscribe, hit the bell, drop a comment, and send it to everybody, bro. Send it to everybody. We need to bring real hip hop back.
Oh shit, we need to bring that real shit back. It's been too long. Without further ado, our guest today, his name is Bullet Brak.
Thank you. What's up, fellas? What up? What up? Yo, see, to independent artists, see what happens when you make sure that the payment clears first and you pay the people that are promoting for you. See that introduction I got right there? Man, these guys just met me 5 minutes ago and they act like we homeboys from way back when, kicking cans down the street. You know what I'm saying? Much appreciated to y'all. I appreciate you and I'll send the rest of that money up. No, I'm fucking with y'all. But yo, I appreciate to be here, man. I'm happy to be here.
We getting paid? I didn't even, man, you guys supposed to negotiate this on the back end.
I don't let them know, man. I'm the guy that gets paid, bro.
Look, yeah, I was gonna say Zill's back like he's like, you know what? Did he pay? Did Broxton? No, I'm just joking.
Damn, side deals I didn't even know about.
Shout out to Q, man. Shout out to Q.
Well, let me give a quick blurb here for anybody out there who may be watching, who may not be familiar with this gentleman. He is an acclaimed hip hop artist from Annapolis, Maryland. That's interesting, Annapolis, Maryland. A veteran of the craft. He is known for dynamic delivery, witty wordplay, and clever lyricism, which we are in much need of, in my opinion, in this non-lyrical era of hip hop. He's been featured on such esteemed hip hop outlets as Sway in the Morning, XXL, The Source, Vlad TV, and many, many more. He's also an accomplished audio engineer. And yeah, I mean, this dude is DIY. This dude is independent, true independent. So again, welcome. But how do I address you? Bullet Brock, how do you like to be addressed?
So I'm old school, like you said, right? So Bullet Brak, boldness, utility, live energy, lyrical ability, excellence, and talent. And I bury rappers after killing Bullet Brak, right? So you could just call me Bullet, though. Most of the hoes call me Brock. So just always call you can always Bullet, Matt, whatever. As long as I don't owe you money, then just don't call me then because I probably ain't gonna answer it.
Dude, I see the witty wordplay and lyricism already, man. Dude, okay.
No, but I was gonna say that too. Independent artists, my bio is a prime example of why you hire someone professional because that was 3 blunts and me thinking I was slick with it, like witty wordplay and all this other stupid fucking shit. That when people like the gentleman that just read this shit tries to do it and gets caught in a tongue twister, that's why you don't do that. You hire someone that really knows what they're writing and what they're saying. My shit was wild. If you read the bio, my shit is so crazy. Like I tried to put in like all the rhyming words and like I wrote a verse or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's why I gotta practice my wordplay. I gotta start rapping, Deezy. Fresh.
Yeah, no, just interview people that ain't professional idiots like myself. You know what I'm saying? That you're good, brother. You're smooth sailing right now. Just don't come down to choppy water. You know.
All right, all right. Well, listen. Something we ask every guest on the show, and I know you already have a superpower, which is your lyricism and wordplay and all that kind of stuff. Your mind moving in 20 directions at once and making it all come together. But something we like to ask every guest that comes on the show is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Not to lose my parlays.
Does that mean when you make the bet that that writes it in destiny? Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yo, let me tell you something. Y'all got to go watch the movie. If you haven't, go watch the movie Bronx Tale, right? And in Bronx Tale, there's a character they call Mush. And they say Mush, anytime Mush touches a bet, the fucking shit goes to mush. So at the end of the day, I'm mush. You understand? Like anything else in my life, it goes phenomenal. When it comes down to that parlay and I'm hitting that bet, like literally right when I hit the bet on Bo Nixon, that motherfucker, something happened. The shoelace tied and stubbed his toe. Now he can't go out in the fourth quarter and I fucked the whole bet up. So I would like that if I could get the genie. But see, that's my problem. Like if I got the genie lamp, I would bet that I would only get 2 wishes and I would fuck the whole thing up because I already knew I was gonna get 3. You know what I mean? So I would definitely try to win that parlay because then my marketing budget would be a lot stronger. Final answer. Final answer because I can't phone a friend. You know what I mean?
Hilarious, man. I love it. I love it. Well, shit. From superhero powers to superhero origin stories. Let's get into it, man. Tell me about Annapolis, Maryland. That's unique. I've never heard of rap and hip hop coming out of Annapolis. I lived in Virginia. I grew up in Virginia, down more in the south west side. But tell me about that. What was it like growing up there? What was your family life like? I know that your background is as a Greek American. Let's speak on.
So yeah, so my grandparents, first generation Greeks, came over. Brooklyn, of course. One side of my family from D.C., the other side from New York. Back in the day, Greeks, they would call family members and shit like that. And so, anyways, uh, my story starts in Annapolis, Maryland. Like you said, it is crazy. Annapolis, it's a nice, pretty city, capital of Maryland, Naval Academy, and all that. A lot of entrepreneurial people there, man. Everyone that I grew up with either makes music, does art, does clothing, has their own type of insurance business, something. Everyone's hustling. Everyone's competing against themselves. A lot of people don't like competition now, but that's fucking fuels every type of boom there is in history. So Annapolis is crazy small town. We're right outside of Baltimore, right outside of DC. They call it the DMV area. Uh, it was just why it was the toughest place you could have. I went to New York for 10 years. I stayed in New York. I was in Los Angeles. I was in Phoenix, out there your way for 2 years. Shit, I lived in Mesa. I lived right on Camelback Road. The hardest place, but the most satisfying place to like hustle as an artist. That's what I'm addicted to, right? Is I'm addicted to the hustle. Like I'm addicted to making things happen, like trying to line things up, and like you said, try to put something in my mind and then make that shit happen in real life. That's a crazy addiction. And just being from Annapolis, where a lot of major things happened in the United States of America, and living actually downtown, it was just like a crazy environment. And also, you're 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours away from everything. From Richmond, Virginia, from like I said, from DC, you're 30 minutes. Baltimore, you're 30 minutes. Philadelphia, 2.5. So it was a good experience for me. I was never really scared to get on a bus or get on a train, just get the fuck out and just go. So when I came home from jail, I was more or less I would go up to New York. I would burn my mixtapes down. I would get 1,000 of them. I would get on a fucking bus and just stop at every major city on the way down there and just sell them bitches until I thought I was gonna get robbed, to be honest with you. And then I would get back on the bus and then go to the next city and do that shit again, and then continuously do that. And then I got addicted to it, of being like, now instead of when I stop and I get off and I don't know nobody, now the next time I got someone that's like, yo, I'm gonna pick you up, and then do it again. And then now I got someone that says, yo, I got some trees for you and I got some food for you. And then the next time, yo, I got a show for you out here and I got a place you can stay. So now I got 7 cities that I can stop off and do that. And if I do that and I get $200 every time I do that, and I do it once a month, that's $1,400 a month right there, not including merchandise and selling and everything, what you can hustle. So Annapolis was great because at the end of the day, you could see where the country started. You know what I'm saying? In a way. And it just has that spirit. So shout out to everyone in Annapolis still doing their things, man. A lot of great things coming out of Annapolis, and I'm proud to have came from there.
Is that where you grew up though, or did you grow up somewhere else?
Born and raised right there, and then like I said, man, just always been a runner, man. Like my grandfather was from New York. My grandfather was a hustler, man. I grew up raised by my grandparents, my yaya and my papu, and man, he was like I said, like a mean hustler. I don't want to. He's dead now, so it's not gonna get him in trouble. But man, he had connections from the mob. They used to come, and we had the slot machines inside of his pool hall before slot machines was even a fucking thing. So I think they got passed into. Like legislation in Maryland in like the 70s or something. My grandfather had them shits in there since like the 50s, since like the end of the 50s. You know what I'm saying? Horse races and everything like that. So I was always taught from right there, like, you see that road right there? I always used to be like, yeah. He goes, takes you a lot of places. Figure it out. And I figured I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So really that helped those. Like I said, like being from Annapolis, which is like a small town with a big city complex. We're surrounded by the big cities and everything like that. It is crazy, and I just been a floater, man. Like if the when I was in school at the Institute of Audio Research, I get out of school, mix people's tracks. I go work for all the different labels, and I get a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning, like, "Yo, do you know anyone in Cincinnati? Someone's got to be at a studio in Cincinnati." And I'd be by the time the phone conversation is done, I'm like, "Yeah, I know him," and I would text the person my number and be like, "Bitch, I'll be there in 4 hours." So I mean, just really like it's a difference, man. If you want it, you got to go hunt. You either go hunt or you just wait for the scraps that come back when you do. So that's what Annapolis taught me too, man, especially being a small city that's around a lot of big cities. It shows you that while other people have things that what they call savant things that land in people's laps and they can just wake up and have that thing happen because maybe the demographic, the size, or the reputation of your major city, kids like me that come out of places that are in the shadows of that, I think sometimes got that little chip on their shoulder too. Like, I can knock you the fuck out too. Just because I'm not from a certain place, don't mean I ain't gonna check your chin. So
Yeah, Annapolis might not be Baltimore, but it's still.
we right there. We right there. And always, like I was taught by a lot of old time Greeks and Italians that also, a lot of philosophy was like that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you at? Like, man, a little Italian man put a pistol in the back of your fucking brain and blow it out in the middle of the woods out in Pennsylvania. So at the end of the day, you could be a tough guy and get your shit smoked anywhere. So with that being said, or you can also invest in some cryptocurrency and go rich while you're taking a shit on a plane, going to somewhere else. So with that being said, I hear what you're saying, but and being from Annapolis, we didn't buy into that either. It's anything can happen at any given time. Just be prepared so you don't have to get prepared, kind of. But growing up, honestly though, by the wire, having a lot of connections in Baltimore through street shit and through like the Greeks in the wire, that shit was true. There was a lot of people. I can talk. My grandfather knew a lot of people that was up there. That shit was real true. The Gambino family was definitely down in Baltimore, especially during the '90s and everything like that, during Gotti's reign at the end. But a lot of crazy shit, man. A lot of definitely crazy shit that goes on in America that a lot of people, 90% of the people that live in America, see that shit on the news now and be like, oh my God, they need to send the National Guard. And it's like, motherfucker, that's a fucking Wednesday afternoon. What are you talking about, man? Shit is regular, man.
So you're saying The Wire, the docs, that's all real, bro? The docs is real, bro?
So, bro, you can Google all that shit. They had to literally shut that shit down because the wire was getting so fucked. Shout out my man Trey Cheney. I was just on Twitter going back and forth with him today. He played Poop in the wire first couple of seasons. They had to shut it down because the shit was real. Like the fucking police killing people, putting them shits in the abandoned buildings and sealing them up with the cardboard and all that shit. That shit was. I mean,
Wait, Snoop's like what Snoop was doing, that was real. Like people were really doing that.
absolutely, bro. It was wicked. Yeah, I'm talking about it was wicked. Yo, it was so bad. I remember I was I forget how old I was. I was old enough to be charged as an adult. Put it like that. That's fucked up though when you have to know the age brackets. It's like, was I old enough to be charged as an adult or not? That's kind of the age I was at. So, but I was. And when we were going uptown, a lot of my friends would cop dope uptown, get fingers and everything like that, and then bring it back, bust up, and then go serve their shit or whatever. And there was times in Baltimore, if you go up there, and it's what they call a whiteout, where they don't serve white people, or it's the police are out or something's bad. Yo, they'll serve you what's called hot bags, and hot bags is shit that's laced with bad shit and will knock you dead. And they was doing that. Also, episode in The Wire. Remember when they had New Amsterdam when it was like the open area?
Yeah.
100% real. 100% real. They were literally going around the city picking people up and bringing the fiends to the place so they could stop that. Now it was crazy because they use that as entrapment too. Though I know we're going off subject. I'm sorry, but they use that.
No, this is great. This is amazing. Please, yeah.
They use it as entrapment. It's real. They used it as entrapment though because what they did was they would bring everyone there. So say the police came to us and say, "Yo, your crew can serve right here, no problem, right?" So, but what they're doing is they're in the abandoned building. They're taking pictures of everyone serving. So now they're trying to get a warrant on you so they can tap your phone. That was the big thing about that was the phones, and the wire was true about that. And there was a lot of corruption going on. And I don't know. I don't allegedly a lot. I don't know. I don't fucking rat on people, so I don't know. All of that shit. But I do know that they shut that shit down because it was way too close to home. 100%. People were losing their jobs.
I do know that the wiretap thing was real for sure. Like, I mean, The Wire is one of my favorite shows of all time. I feel like it's one of everybody's favorite shows if you watch it. But
Because it's so real. Because it's so real and relatable, and it's very simple, and it's a very simple story about how people from the inner city in this place called Baltimore could run a Fortune 500 fucking company to the T. There's also there's the real Barksdale. His name was Marlo Barksdale. If you go look at that, Marlo and Barksdale were actually the same person. They just had to split it into two characters. And then there was also a guy, if you guys want to look into the time period of that history, his name was Peanut King. That's another reason why they shut the wire down. There was a certain scene, I want to say in season 5, 3 or 4, I think. And it was when they had everyone lined up outside. And they had Bodie and them lined up outside, and they asked them, "Yo, what y'all know about these murders?" They said it was Peanut King. They used an actual person's name that was in a real affiliation, a real person going through a murder trial at that time on a national syndicated TV show. That was one of the big strikes against that show getting shut down because potentially that fuck. You get what I'm saying? Imagine if you're.
Could have fucked up the case for the cops and
I'm saying, imagine if you're a jury member and you're watching TV and you see this and they go about the murders on with Peanut King. Now in your mind, you're like, oh shit, oh he really did this shit. So now that's grounds of a mistrial. You feel me?
Wow. That's crazy. Why would they even that doesn't even make any sense.
I mean, does anything make sense?
At this day and age? Dude, that's a good question. After the shit I've been reading the last day or two, holy fuck.
Well, you also got to remember too, man. Like the things that we read, history is his story, and the books are written by the winners. I ain't never seen a losing side ever write the story, and usually the losing side are the ones we cheer for in these movies. You know that, right? So we're built to cheer for the underdog. Why? Because everyone's, no matter where you come from, man. That's the crazy thing that we're getting fucked up in America right now. Not to get off, but this is my opinion. This is my sole opinion only. This does not reflect on the opinions of the show, the host, or anyone involved, including the sponsors, just Bullet Brak. But people get too confused about this other shit, right? Like when I went to Europe for the first time, I was Greek, man. I was fucking, yo, dog, you're talking to a 2-time felon who's been told he was going to be a fucking piece of shit convict for his entire motherfucking life. Now I'm over in Greece where my family is from. None of my family has been over there since they came over here on the boat. I'm rapping rap music in Greece. So with that being said, it was like for me it was eye opening to understand that the music and I kind of got lost on where I was going at it, but the music and in my opinion is that the music is transcending through everything, which should be just as like a human being as a vibration. So the point that I'm getting to is like when I was in Greece, people weren't saying, yo, we Greek, we this, we that. As human beings, man, we're everybody. Everyone is cool because that's where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so in America, it's kind of weird too of everyone fighting and interfighting with each other. And then when you go out, you see people just happy. The main thing that struck me is the freest country in the world. We got surveillance cameras everywhere. Over in Europe, they don't. Yes, there's crazy shit happening over in Europe, of course, man. Interfightings and where we're at right now in the stance is like crazy of just being like, everyone is so focused on the smaller micro things when the macro picture is just getting like fucking blown out of the water. No one can see nothing, and we're all just spiraling down the circle. And music and things like this throughout history has helped us and brought us together. But unfortunately, the drugs, the times, and the knowledge that's available is completely fucked all of us up.
No, listen, we hear you on that. We hear you on that. Well, I mean, you brought music, power of music, man. Let's talk about it. All right. When does hip hop hit your radar? Was it always there? Did it suddenly come out at some point? Did you hear what maybe when did music land on your radar, and then when did hip hop land on your radar?
Oh no! So my grandfather, like I said, owned a pool hall. He had wise guys come down there, army vets, people from work there or from the city, of course. So shit from since I was 6 years old, with Public Enemy, like Chuck D. Shout out to Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? Like when he followed me on Twitter, that was like I ain't got to worry about nothing no more. I made it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like listening to that since I was 6. My older brother, shout out to Scott. He had all the. I used to steal everything from him, man. Like every single fucking Fear of Black Planet, like every single record you could think of. So that's really what I was raised up always. And honestly, that's what I was raised. My father grew up dirt poor, and he was a person that was like, fuck the color shit. Like we're all in the struggle together. So for me, it wasn't like a household where I grew up and my parents listened to Barry Manilow and it was fucking dry spaghetti on Wednesdays and shit it was family, you know what I'm saying? So it was a different upcoming. So hip hop has always been what it was. That or bazooka Greek music, and I ain't listening to that shit. So, it was rap always.
so how was Greece other than like the shows and stuff? How was it to be there? Like what's that experience like?
Well, luckily for me, I got family over there, right? So, and unfortunately, I can't explain it without the rap music because going over there and seeing the way that the culture is, and this is kind of what I was getting at when I completely fucking jumped off the top rope and missed the ring a minute before, is that like going over there, like yo, bro, I had someone come for 3 hours, got on a fucking bus and did like 7 transfers to come over to me and to explain to me that my bloodline wasn't really Greek and that he could understand my words in English because of Busta Rhymes. And I remember like so that was amazing for Greek for me in the like an American seeing that, right? Like seeing the whole full circle. Like, okay, my Greek ancestors, they started philosophy, they started rap, they started theater, they started all this allegedly, whatever, supposedly, and now to see this American piece of shit kid that can fucking talk his way out of anything and talk his way into anything as well, come back over here and it's like they're fucking with me because of the music and like and that's dope. Greece on the other outside, man. I love history and that being in my family, like it was amazing. I rented a car and just fucking drove everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I got my family's from Sparta, so I got to drive down Sparta. Been over there multiple times. I got family over there. Shout out my cousin Gus. You know, Mr. Laney, Mr. Stathos. You know, every time I go over there, it's a family affair. Big dinners on Sunday, everything like that. So I got to go to Olympia, where the Nike's from, the Olympics. You know, I got to do all the Athens things, got to go see the Temple of Poseidon, do all that shit. It's amazing, man. The best thing I can say is get the fuck out and travel. I don't think anyone does like the nightclub shit anymore, so I don't know what fucking people spend their money on. Fucking Fortnite and vape pens. I don't know what the fuck they do. So, but instead of doing that shit, spend $785 and go.
Weed packs and backwoods is where my money goes, bro.
Yo, I'm right with you. Yo, if I could show you, my my shit, you would be like, yo, you need help, bro. Like you need mental help. But yeah, but yo, save up some money and just get on a plane and go, and it's very cheap. And no one gives a fuck if you're an American. Don't watch the news. Who gives a fuck? Just get on the shit and go. And it's amazing just seeing it. But then also, I'm gonna tell you, like some reverse psychology, like traveling does. It also shows you like how beautiful, just from talking to y'all, where y'all are located at. If you just do the triangle, because y'all really are located in a triangle. If you go Florida, Arizona, Toronto, and all that, just in that triangle, it's fucking beautiful, man. Shit is amazing. The country's beautiful, and that's another thing. I can't thank hip hop anymore. Good God Almighty, thank you, because I got this. I gotten to see everything. You know what I'm saying? Except for like 9 countries.
I have a problem, brother. I'm a criminal, so they don't let me in the States. So I can't go to Florida or Arizona. But
Yo, how much of a piece of shit do you have to be that you can't get out of Canada? Like that's like that's the word. They don't even want you. Canada will tell you we don't want you here. You know what I'm saying? Like we kick people out like Justin Bieber, yourself, well, I don't know. You're an odd case, sir. You know, and we gotta. And you know what? For all the backwoods smokers, that we should not stop until the high courts have heard your case, and we should not stop until you get justice, because that's what we should do as people that are banded together. Because that's some bullshit.
I don't know. We might not want him to focus too much on Fresh. They might watch our show and then he's gonna end up in jail.
What you want, yo, you can do like live tapings from jail and shit like that. It's fire.
Need a rep, Fresh, and then we'll use that rep on the Goat Show. That's what's gonna happen. Damn.
bro, no.
There's a dude named William Banks. I'll send you his links or whatever like that. You got to look him up. He's like he does like shock comedy type things or whatever. So he was involved. I believe it was. Don't quote me, but I believe it was. Remember they came out with this thing that were like came out and said like birds and pigeons were like made up things and they were like spies by. So this was this guy. So they contacted me. I was overshooting a movie with Ari the Rugged Man in Belgium. I was in Belgium, Norway, and Amsterdam last year, in Germany. We were shooting a movie, and they hit me up, and they was like, yo, do you want to be a part of a movie? So Ari's like, my brother, he's trying to help me get into all these things. And I'm like, all right, so what's the role? Because I'm coming back from another movie. I'm fucking tired. I haven't been home for 2 months. What's the role? They're like, yo, you got to act like a person in jail. I was like, say no more. I'll see you when I get off the plane. Say no more.
Wait, hold on. What's you mentioned a couple of times now? Like, what? I mean, if you don't mind talking about it, like, what did you go to jail for? If that's, you know,
Oh, regular old dumb shit. Fucking selling drugs. Fucking getting caught selling drugs. Fucking me not telling. Fucking everyone else telling on each other. Dumb shit. I mean, I got my house raided. Pistol. Fucking dude told on my house. Everything. Kept my mouth shut and everything like that. And kind of fucked my whole little career up. I was dealing with a guy named Alvon. Uh, Alvon Miller from Shady Records. Burned it down. Shout out to Alvon. He helped Eminem, a guy named Marshall Mathers that we all know, sell 10 million records and help manage that career. Also now works with DJ Hookit and shit. But yo, bro, fucking, we were gonna do a show with Bullet Brak, Fabulous, my brother Corey Black, Machine Gun Kelly. Shout out to Cub from Annapolis. We were gonna have him with us as well, and like 2 other artists. And someone told her on our house, and the fucking police came, raided the house, and took the show money. So shut us down, yeah. And then Shady Records was kind of like, your name's Bullet Brak, you got gun charges, yeah, we'll talk to you later, kid. So
Wait, I thought that'd be, dude. I mean, if King Von can still be selling records and shit, I mean, I don't know.
That's now, kid.
this was early '90s. I mean, this was early 2000s, and not for nothing. I mean, we went to a lot of places.
I mean, 50 Cent got shot how many times? I mean,
This is true.
And he wasn't allowed in Canada for how long?
This is true.
He wasn't allowed in Europe for how long?
This is true. Some of us, once again, like you guys were talking about earlier, is true. Not such a spectacular story. Not such a we're not from Queens. You can get shot 9 times. Wasn't fucking with Supreme Team. So for us, it was more or less of a calculated. A lot of shit that we were doing was self-invested. So it's a business thing, and a lot of people like at that time. I can definitely talk about it now. A lot of people that at that time, when you watch shit like Sopranos and shit like that, I knew a lot of those people. I was around a lot of those people. So at the end of the day, too, for a lot of things that I would jump out and say at that time, and I spoke about this in interviews before, like if I get myself jammed up with some of the wrong people that is 70 years old, but in their mind they're still 30 years old, walking around with Carlo and Gambino, that can put me in a big problem, and my family in a big problem, and shit like that. So sometimes, I had to make the right decisions for the right thing, but I'm still happy with the way that the career came out. We went to Columbia Records. We had a lot of things. My brother Corey Black and I, we had a project we were going to work with Columbia. They wanted us to do some weird whackball shit, kind of like mimic other artists that were out there. We decided not to do that. Did that potentially hurt my career at that time? Yes, because it would have put me out there at a major level. I could have dropped a song. I could have retained the fan base, and then when all the streaming shit happened, boom, there you go. Here comes the bag. Or built a complete direct D2C fan base, and if you know how to work a D2C fan base, 1,000 people can bring you $120,000 a year, and that's off $10 a month.
yeah. Well, hold on. Well, let's God, there's so much to talk about here. So, uh, let's just run it back a little bit to, um, so let's go to the beginning of like your career in hip hop, like starting from the beginning. Like at what point were you like, okay, you're into hip hop music, I'm assuming you're in, you love the culture and all that kind of stuff. Like when do the rhymes come? Where was it something that was just in you? Did you practice? Like, how did that start out in the beginning?
So to be fully honest, like when I was a kid, I would impersonate people. Like literally, like if you saw the movie Bronx Tale, like when I was growing up with my cousins, when we would go over with my grandparents, like our family from New York, from New Jersey, from Philadelphia, everyone's coming over. They got the suits on for Christmas. So we were the kids mimicking people. I was the 6-year-old, 8-year-old kid that when my great uncles would flick the cigarette butts, I would go down there and pick the cigarette butts and act up like I was them. We just dressed in the suits and shit, and I would be out at church trying to rough people for the bread and the offerings and shit like that. When the plate come, I'm like, yeah, I'm one of them guys. So with that, it was more or less like, and I was funny, man. So when I was a kid, that was my whole stick. It was like I do the Charlie Chaplin shit, or I make fun of you, or I crack a joke, or I would put together something that rhymed that would be funny, so I could take up some of your time, and maybe you would leave me $1 plus a dime. That's fine. I'm on the grind. So, and then people will be like, "Oh, that's funny, kid," and I'll be like, "Yeah, fuck you too," and then take the money though. So once that started coming, and then now it's weird because people live on the internet, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the culture, and it wasn't that. That was we were creating it at that time. I'm saying the 80s and the 90s for sure but that was a different wave. That was like the beginning, and then we were on the newer wave. We were on the Jadakiss, the D Block, the mixtapes, the this. So for us, wearing the Champion hoodies with the sweatpants, with the jacket over it, with the low fits and everything, that really wasn't something that was cool. That was just what the fuck we were doing. uh so that it was a great time to be alive. And then really with the rap shit, I'm gonna be honest, I would do the back when I got locked up. All these little different skid bits I do. A couple months here, a couple months there. Go up there, do this. Halfway home here, there. Frederick serving time with these fucking lifers that are coming home. I'm on a fucking 3-year joint for selling fucking weed and shit like that, and didn't tell, kept my mouth shut, so I get hit in the head. They send me to a fucking halfway house release in Frederick, Maryland, where you got fucking nothing but lifers coming down that joint. No lock-ins, nothing, motherfucker. Like, there was people in there, and it was supposed to be like a house of God. They had people strapped in with knives and all that shit. I'm like, yo, this shit is the craziest shit. And the what the fuck? And that was one of the times that made me just like make you ever. I hope all of y'all men have came to this point where you just looked at yourself in the mirror and been like, what the fuck am I doing? like this ain't it. Like this ain't it. I have to reevaluate. Like we have to call a fucking on-fly huddle right now, or we're gonna lose this parlay in real time. So and that really what it was. And there was a couple OGs that was like, yo, you're good at the music shit, you should do this. And one of the guys up in Frederick, he was connected to someone that did music. And they were like, yo, just rap over this shit over the phone. And I heard the beat. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make fun of the dude holding the phone over the beat. And that's what I did. And then when I came back, my brother Josh Guest, Iron Monk, he was a phenomenal MC from Annapolis. He hit me up, was like, yo, just come to Arizona and get your mind right. That's what I was saying. I was out in Phoenix for a while. And then we went out there, and then that's when the music shit took off. We met a couple people that Lou Draws and them, they were dealing with like the whole Diz Nation, Mac Dre shit and everything. And they were making those type of beats, but then made like the East Coast boom bap drum patterns under it for us. And then we was just bodying shit. And then, yo, I found out what MySpace was, man. My peoples was like, yo, there's this thing called MySpace. And I'm like, man, I'm not coming to my place. What the fuck? No one's coming to my place. What the fuck you talking? They're like, no, MySpace. Yo, I was wild back in the day, bro. I had like all the golds in and everything. I was fucking wild. Baltimore, I was wild. They were like, yo, it's called MySpace, MySpace. And for 3 weeks, I'm like, man, no one's coming to my house. They're like, yo, you're a fucking idiot. So they came and showed it to me. Yo, bro, I did a full photo shoot with the huge Orioles fitted. I had like all the golds in. It was like the ugliest orange Oriole jacket ever with the matching shoes. I thought it was the flies thing ever. My pussy ratio probably plummeted after those pictures went up. But all these rappers were hitting me up and being like, yo, this is dope. Like, where you from? And that's when like the DMV started really coming about. And that's MySpace just took off, yo. Hundreds of thousands of joints, man, just over. And I didn't know what to do. I was trying to we was bagging weed up. People was like, yo, I seen your shit on this. I'm like, oh shit, you think the cops saw it too? And they're like, the fuck are you talking about? Did the cops? Yeah, who's the cops? So but that's what it was, man. And then a couple of my friends got around me and was just like, yo, dog, they're really playing your shit around a lot of places. Like, there's people talking about you, like in New York. And once I, got through it in my head, like, yo, the music shit, that's when my brother Corey Black just kind of was like, yo, we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna take it to the full front. So Corey went and learned all this shit about graphics, artwork, how to do all this shit, everything, and has consistently made some of the hottest beats I've ever heard. So that's it. That's how it started for real. It was really just word of mouth, and people was like, "Yo, you can do this, but you just can't be scared." So I literally, like I was saying before, just got on a bus, a plane, a train, an automobile, whatever the fuck I had to do, my car, slept wherever in the whatever the fuck, whatever, and just and went and did it. Just went, fuck it.
When does like the audio engineering side of things come into play? Because you were graduate with honors from
Yeah, from Institute of Audio Research. Yeah, so really it went from just like mixtapes. Like I went to New York when I came back from Arizona. So it went from being a street idiot and then trying to get myself together, going to Arizona. This is around like 20 something to 25. Go out there and really like get in depth, like really start meeting people and being like, oh, okay, like this shit is real. Like this shit isn't just like something you just a dollar in a dream what they try to make it to be because they just want people to think it's that. So I come back from Arizona and I go visit one of my homeboys in New York, and there's this fucking ad that keeps playing on Hot 97. And I was just trying to be an asshole, and I was like, yo, if the ad plays one more fucking time, I'm gonna apply for the school. And literally, when I tried to be like a tough guy and like put my fucking foot down, like I'm Mr. fucking Big Shot, that joint was like, and yes, motherfucker, we're back with another commercial. IAR, see you there. So I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna go down there. And when I went there, it was like an open house. And I ain't gonna lie, I just walked up to the teachers and I just started rapping. And then when I stopped, I was like, that's why I should be in your school. So I can be famous. And I can say I went here. And the dude was like, yeah, sign him up. and then really it was like, because we were in a studio session in Arizona. And the dude was just like this. He was like, hey man, what's going on? Boom, boom, pounded me and my man up. He was like, yo, pause that. And he was like, y'all ready to get the session started? We're like, yeah. He's like, boom, pulls the session up, gets everything going. He's like, oh, hold on. Takes the phone call. I'll be right back. He's gone for like 4 hours. We didn't get nothing done. But you know what we did get? We got charged for the studio session. So off of that, I was like, never again. Because when I was in the streets, I was like, man, we don't need to find anybody that can do everything. Let's just figure out how to do everything for ourselves. Where do we go get the baggage from? Where do we go get this from? Where do we get this from? If people need to get loan money and we put interest on it, where do we get the money? So that's what the school. And then once off learning from the school, I got to be in New York City and be like, yo, I'm sitting right here where I can meet people and they're trying to do this, and a lot of them are established. They're gonna have to kick me out of this bitch, man. Like physically, with force, security, backup. You're gonna have to bring the big flashlights and everything, wave them in my face, and get the rent a cops and all that shit, because I'm not leaving out of here. And that's really what I told everyone. And then off of that, it was like, there you go. And then just being creative in school, like every homework thing that we had, I just recorded it, like in a rap. So if anything was homework session about like DBs and phasers and compression and all, I would just do it in a rap. And if it was about compression, I would make the compression different on my vocal throughout the song, and it'd be all about the song.
That's actually super cool. Yeah.
Well, really, what I did was it was the long play. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'm like a mob aficionado, man. Like I read everything about the mob. I read about like the ways a lot of those people were super smart, and really, it's about strategically planning. That's everything in life is strategically planning. You know, so it was more or less like if I can get on the good side of these professors, if I can do the right thing, these guys are connected to legends. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna bypass a lot of gatekeepers just by being creative, and that's the name of the game. Circle back to what we were talking about having to be able to put out 1,000 songs to stay relevant as an artist. Like you can't be creative, you can't catch your breath, so to speak, you know. So with them, I was kind of like a breath of fresh air. And my number one thing is comedy, man. Like I know what it is to be fucked up, and I know what it is to like just want to laugh. And that's something that I can do really good. Is I can either bust your balls having fun, or I could just like make the crowd laugh, self-deprecating humor type style, you know. So but really with the music, I just learned that it was like it was just taking someone from a reality and just I'm nice with it, and that's really what it. I really didn't get into I'm pimping hoes and all this, and no disrespect to no music, in like the trap music and like selling heavy drugs and shooting people and all sort of fuck crazy shit. I never really got into all that. I never really got into like the I'm smarter than you and I can fucking pronounce words that got fucking 72 letters in them and shit. I never got into trying to do that type of rap. My shit is just like, yo, I'm just a slick talk, funny motherfucker that probably really, if we had money on the line, I'm gonna out rap your ass 9 times out of 9. So, that's, I not just try to stick to that. And really, I just try to stick to the business profession and just be like, hey, if you stick to 4 or 5 certain things instead of like just throwing the penny in the fucking river trying to be a millionaire, you can honestly make a living for yourself,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to ask you about the DIY ethic and things related to that. I mean, do you think that artists, no matter who they are, should they learn production? Do you think they should learn all the different aspects of what it takes to even if they decide to go with the label or something like that? Like, do you think it's better for an artist in the beginning to dip their hands in these different pots and get an understanding of how each component works?
I mean, some for it's good, some for it's bad. It kind of depends on like what personality you have too, right? So if you're like a great songwriter, but me and the others in the band are better at like engineering, composing, and putting it together, we gotta also make strategic decisions. Are we spending too much valuable time to teach this person something, or should we teach this person something so they can go on and do other things? So, like I said, that's a trick bag question but I understand the basis of the question, and the basis answer is yes. That if you're gonna buy a car, you should know where the fuck the oil goes, where the transmission fluid goes, where the gas goes, how the park brake works, all that shit. Yes, you should know that. But unfortunately, just like with the like how fast the shit moves in the industry today, is that can you really? No, because with that we could have time. Yo, bro, we're gonna put an album together, man. You can learn how to mix, man. We'll put the album together for 6 months. Yeah, do that shit. Watch your fucking monthly followers go to -93. So you can you? No. And then sometimes, like I said, even myself, I have to defer now to engineers and working with people, because also, there's a major chip inside of networking and working with people, because you build alliances, you build a pipeline, pause, you build a working environment, but also it's like you can't keep up. If I'm writing my song, if I'm recording the song, if I'm mixing the song, if I'm mastering the song, if I'm uploading the song, if I'm writing the metadata for the song, if I'm connecting with my distributor and my label about the song, the release of the song, all now let's not forget the 30 pieces of content they want me to make before the release of the song. Then I gotta fucking promote the song. I gotta market the song. I gotta make sure all the fucking people are gonna do what the fuck they said they were gonna do before they got the money. And now that they got the money, I gotta make sure they answer their fucking phone. So at the end of the day, because you can't put hands on people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be nice. Gotta be nice. You know what I'm saying? You can take my money and not answer my phone, but if I choke you like fucking Homer Simpson and make your eyes pop out, I'm the bad guy. So now with doing all those types of things, also to double back on your question, are we gonna ask Bullet to fucking learn how to fucking do yoga as well, or whatever the fuck everyone else is doing? So it's tough. You know what I'm saying? And as a D, like if you're a dog, you gotta understand too. Like delegation is your friend, because a lot of people think by relinquishing power or relinquishing something to happen, you know, you're gonna get jammed up or something bad's gonna happen. Well, once again, I'm a mob guy. Every fucking famous mob person you had was the best delegator in the world. Because if you think Sammy the Rat had all these fucking, or you think these people really killed all these people, you're crazy, man. They sent people to do that shit. So you got to be able to send people and trust people to do things, man. Because if not, and that's the biggest thing I could say as a person in the industry, and that's very valuable. Because okay, back in the day, if I came to you to mix my song, motherfucker, you ain't have no Instagram. Like you were the guy in the studio that knew everybody. But now some of the engineers have 20,000 people. So it's, once again, it's good to network. I mean, you know, like I tell my friend, I could make the beat, I could fucking make the cover. Well, not just per se me. An artist could do all that, but you're self-reliant on everything. And then now when it comes down to execution time, you have now put that burden and all of that workload on yourself.
What's a lesson that you feel like you've learned from the industry that you wish you would have learned earlier?
Paperwork. Do your paperwork immediately. And what I mean by paperwork is no matter who's a friend, no matter who's a foe, no matter who's a great girl, no matter who's a hoe, make sure you do your paperwork. Because I learned this from a gentleman named Gary Fritz. He was the teacher of my business of music and my music law, is that you better handle your business or your business will handle you. And what I mean by that is that when you do a song, do the split sheet. Enter the split sheet correctly onto the paper. Take the paper, said paper, enter that into the computer correctly, exactly how it is on said paper. Because if not, guess who's not getting paid? Not you, not them, everyone. No one gets paid. That's a big no-no. That's a lot of people you got crying about, and I'm gonna say that. A lot of artists are crying about, oh, I don't get paid the streams right. You worried about one little ass fucking small ass stream coming to the river when there's fucking 11 of them over there on the same song. But you hung up on this motherfucking, oh, they only give us 0.0004 cents. That's because they have 7 billion people on their fucking platform. I would give you 0.0003 cents. How about that? So my whole thing is go create a fucking river. So paperwork. That's what I would always say. No matter if it's a friend, no matter whoever it is, whatever the idea is. Because unfortunately, if paper, and this is you can fact check me all you want. If me and said artist does a song, the paperwork is not done correctly, the song now blows up and becomes a hit record. If they want to take it to court and we don't have paperwork, guess who by default is majority owner of the record? Featured artist. Featured artist. And you know, once again, handle your business before your business handles you. Unless you're gonna be fucking Jerry Maguire and go in there and get the money, and you're gonna be Cuba Gooding Jr. and hit the field and perform, I would suggest you get someone to help you. So, you know, that's what I did. When I was making music, I would reach out to people that was going to Full Sail or going to other schools like that were learning about the business of music. I don't want fucking tattoo Tony down there that knows how to beat people up and change oil to fucking run my music career. He can go collect the money. He can be the crash out. I need this guy over here that's a fucking book nerd and ain't got pussy since pussy had him to go in there and get these contracts right. I'm just saying though, people, you know, and it's no diss to AI, but in reality, you know, we rely on AI. That's like relying on your fucking friend that ain't never been nowhere for fucking life experience. Are you gonna ask this fucking dusty, busty ass motherfucker that's never been nowhere how the fucking weather in Jamaica is? Fuck no. So why are we asking something that has nothing but idiots just upload information into it? So my thing is the best way you learn how to fight is you get punched in your face, and you got a decision. You're gonna get punched again. You're gonna learn how to move from that motherfucker and take out that opposition. So, you know, that's with that being said. So the best thing is like paperwork, because if not, it's gonna end up getting you. And in reality, if you upload shit into your PRO, which is your performance royalty organization, if you don't know what you're doing with song trust, sound exchange, all these other neighboring rights societies and everything like that, you're not gonna get no money. So that's what that is. So be happy that you're getting anything. So really, you gotta take it serious, and that's what the DIY did for me, was just watching everybody else and going, yo, the common factor is everyone's got their shit right. Everyone that these people that are successful that I've worked with and I'm seeing, I got show flyers where Post Malone opened up for me in South by Southwest. So it's once again, it's what do these people have that are successful? Everyone has talent. You know what I'm saying? It's just once you learn how to utilize that talent. But they knew how to get everything right, and guess what they had? They had a team that dedicated themselves to doing that. So, sometimes trying to do everything and learn everything yourself will bite you in the motherfucking ass. And by the time you turn back around to figure out you're the thing that bit you yourself, everything else already passed you. Now you're 5 years late.
Damn. That's great advice, man. Let's talk about talent, though. Okay. I mean, you're known for your lyricism and wordplay. I mean, I have two questions. First question is, when it comes to just the craft itself, what are your thoughts on that? Is that something that you can study and do, I don't know, do logically or whatever, or is it something that you just got to get out there and get the reps in? You got to just get out there and do it and do it and do it, and then it just becomes a natural skill.
Yeah, I think so. I think with that, I think it's kind of like a combination of both. Like, you got to go to the gym to be able to get everything correct to go out and perform whatever sport you're playing or whatever you're doing, right? So, with me, it's crazy. Like, I don't even, when people look at me and go, "Oh, yo, you're nice," I'm like, "Yo, I don't even know why the fuck, why can't you do this?" So, and it's not to sound like cavalier. It's not trying to sound like arrogant or nothing. It's just being a complete honest answer. Like right now, when we're done, I'm gonna hang up the phone. I'm gonna finish writing the song. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna fucking record my shit. I'm gonna come back out and joke on the phone and call someone an asshole 15 times. So, to me, it's just like you just said when you were saying earlier about like, and when people talk about like the culture and emulating and people like this and then the plants and all this, it's just like, to me, it's like, man, fuck, you had to like actually be the shit, because people were like, I was on the tail end of being in the streets when they was calling people posers and all this other crazy shit. Like, man, hip hop cops was out here trying to call people the fuck out. So, you know, it's just tough. And then with talent, like you said, like talent's really in the eye of the beholder. So really, right now, talent and skill and me going, "Hey, yo, I'm actually waiting my invitation invasion." Like, if I can't put a fucking cool ass 5-second video for TikTok behind all these dope shits that I'm saying, no one gives a fuck, man. So the talent has kind of reversed. The talent is kind of like back to the painter brush, like Rembrandt. It's like, how can you make this painting happen? And also to bring Rembrandt up, Rembrandt wasn't famous until 150 years after he fucking died. So sometimes you also got to say, hey, if I'm ahead of my game, I got to figure this out. And I think a lot of people sacrifice their talent as well as trying to fit in on the current trends and shit like that. So, like I said, if you can find the blend, that's where you get really good music. Shout out my brother Terminology, man. Like, that's one right there. Terms on like album 58, bro. He's almost at 60 fucking albums. You know what I'm saying? That's longer than some people. If that's an album a year, that's longer than people been alive out this motherfucker. So with him doing that is also a blueprint of showing you too, like he's found the perfect blend of talent and hustle and business acumen. You know what I'm saying? Of being like how he worked with Paul Wall and made that situation very beneficial for not only himself but Paul Wall as well. Like how he's done so much for so many people in this place in Massachusetts, and he don't even give a fuck if he's mentioned as a person that's holding it down or representing anything like that. You never find a motherfucker like that. You know what I'm saying? Like most people nowadays are worried about acknowledgement. You got to acknowledge me. But real talent understands the saying is true. Rome wasn't built in a day. So like I said, shout out to people like that. Like that's who I, I would say I look up to that in that aspect of being like, yo, my man's had his head down for all that time. We're talking about albums that he dropped. We're not talking about features shit. I got fucking 5 songs with him. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another project that he's got. But, that's what I would say too, like to artists, talent always isn't that. Just always have that ready to go and be able to outwork any talent that is lazy. And I know that's like an overused cliche. It's like hard work beats talent that doesn't work and all that other fuck shit. But it is very true. And if you're always prepared, you don't have to get prepared. Like we were talking, I'm getting ready to go on tour. The best thing you can do with that is have multiple songs already lined up to release, already ready to go. Everything's good. While you're gone, business is handled. Everything's registered. Everything's taken care of. That's the big name of the game, because you can put out as many songs as you want, man. You don't register the shit. You're just wasting your time.
If you could go back to one studio session from your whole career, what would it be and why?
That's a good one. Great question, man. Honestly, there was a studio session in my school at the Institute of Audio Research, and I forget his name. This was my teacher, Mr. Ian. I'm so sorry I forget your last name, but he's gonna see this. And Sam Scaff, and we were going over Britney Spears' vocals that she had came in and recorded 3 weeks before, and they asked a question, and the way that I answered the question was very smart ass, right? And the reason why I say that that's the one thing that I regret is because another lesson is that when you're in an area and you're in an environment with people that have knowledge and they're trying to help you and they're trying to progress what you're doing, don't put your motherfucking foot in your own mouth. So what I'm saying is, not only for myself but all the other people that were involved, is that by the way I answered this said question, I stopped what could have potentially been great information and a lot of things that a lot of upcoming engineers and artists could have learned. You get what I'm saying, though? So in other words, it's like, even though you know the answer, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And I had to tell myself that just because I know the answer, shut the fuck up, man. Because there might be someone else that needs to hear that, and then they're gonna ask something else that's gonna get that insight that you're gonna be like, oh shit. See, I am an asshole. I should have shut the fuck up from the get go, and I'd have known this. Now to put me onto game. So that's what I would say right there. When it comes to any other studio session, I'm so thankful that I made the decision to go to the Institute of Audio Research, because being able to be like a quarterback, an offensive coordinator, a coach, a general manager, and an owner all wrapped in one, like be able to see the full picture while it's getting recorded, to be able to have the know-how of while I'm writing it, I'm gonna boom, 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 I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put the echo right here, a little distortion right here, we'll drop the beat, be able to do all that. I'm very confident when I go into the studio. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think blocking the line of education and information and knowledge is something that I regret from that studio session, and that's the biggest regret I have. Because once again, man, like there's certain that you can't learn nothing, man. Like, yo, that was the great thing about coming from immigrants. You know, everyone wants to fucking send them home nowadays. But at the end of the day, the greatest thing I learned was coming from a family of immigrants that was like, yo, the greatest history you know is the oldest person you know. And the smartest person you know is the fucking oldest person you know. And unfortunately, for all you motherfucking cliche motherfuckers out there, luck has got a lot to do with a lot of shit. So at the end of the day, a lucky motherfucker is a smart motherfucker. Some people look at, well, a smart motherfucker being lucky. You know, some people be like, oh, he's lucky. He's lucky. He invested in Amazon. Little does he know that he works a part-time job for his health insurance. So he works in the small store at UPS, and he happened to see a million Amazon packages came through and was like, what's this? And invested in it. So what some people call luck is really sacrifice. What some people call sacrifice was really stress. You know what I'm saying? So it all boils into one. So, it just takes a lot, man. It takes a lot. It just takes a lot, and it does take luck, and it does just always, like I'll say, is be prepared, have your paperwork done, and I'll always echo Gary Fritz from the Institute of Audio Research: handle your business, or your business will handle you. And then honestly, a lot of people get sour and salty when shit fucks up, and if you don't even have the back again to the studio session, not even having the knowledge of what I'm supposed to do, so I can't do it. So you're frustrated, you're mad at a process you don't even understand. That's the worst. That's the worst. It's like dealing with a woman. None of us know. As men, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're just throwing shit up against the wall and hope that shit sticks for the night.
You've been doing this for a long time. How much has the process for audio engineering changed for you
So much easier now.
from the time that you started till now? I mean, there's so many more tools and, everything is a lot more user friendly. What do you think is the greatest change for you?
No, it's so much easier. I used to be like a stickler, bro. Like I used from learning from like working with like DJs, producers, people on the backside of like the boards and everything like that. Pause of seeing like what makes, like, a lot of people don't know that certain singers only sing over certain BPMs and certain chords and certain blah 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 blah. That's how their shit's written. Some people to this day don't even understand. A lot of people have songwriters. So the thing that was most effective for me that through the technology and the upgrades was, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but being able to create a pack of my vocals. And what I mean by that is being able to bundle the compression, the EQ, the reverb, the delay, the mod mule, everything like that, and bundle that into a pack to where all you have to do is upload it, and now it's a VST, and now you put my vocal into it, and it's there. It is. All you have to do now is level it out how you want it in the mix of your record. So yeah, because as an artist, especially as my pattern, my ad lib is one of my things. Once you hear my music, that's what sticks with you. Boo, that shit sticks with you. So if you fuck it up and you mess up the timing a little bit, that shit sounds whack. You'd be like, what the fuck is that? So with that, and also I'm a very technical writer. My favorite rapper was Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? I love Styles P. R.A. the Rugged Man, of course, is a huge influence on me from when I was listening to music to now. Like that's like a fucking unbelievable cheat code that I have is seeing a fucking legendary MC on the stage, fucking time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. So, that was like a huge upgrade for me. Just being able to hop in the studio and have the confidence of being like, I'm gonna leave you with this, so you don't have my shit sounding crazy as fuck, And with me still being like an old school style recorder, so I'll record my main vocal, I'll do the backup dubs, I'll do the pads, I'll do all that type shit because the way I was taught, you go through and you pick out the best parts, all the vocals and all this other crazy shit. But so with having so many vocals too, we have a lot of people that just really don't know what they're doing. They're using programs to engineer. So that also helps me with like the stacks and everything like that, getting too washed into the song. So the technology is definitely great, man. It's definitely awesome, and that's definitely, like I said, is like the engineers that I deal with. We already have like the exact style of the plugins and how they're set and how everything's good. So my vocal sounds basically the same wherever I go, no matter what. And imagine fucking having like an Avalon that you're just dropping off and you're leaving and fucking people's shit. You got fucking 15 different Avalon mic pre's and you got all these outboards and shit like back in the day. Man, you'd be a fucking millionaire doing that shit. So that's great, and that's what I love is like one, it's the good and the bad is that the internet has made a lot of people available to make music, and that's another reason why in hip hop, especially, a lot of the listeners have went away because the fans think that they can fucking make music, and I'm not saying that you can't, but I mean I went through a different process. Years, you can look at my shit, you can look my shit up. You know what I'm saying? So I put years in on the grind, so it's different than just being able to hop on the internet right now and go viral on TikTok and now you're an artist. I'm not hating on no one. I'm just saying I just think also that's malnutrition for that career because you got to go be you look at Bo Nix, man. You got to be game tested to win these games, man. And he's out here winning.
I haven't been doing it nearly as long as you, but I mean, I started rapping and fucking performing in front of people at like 18, so like 12 years now. And I mean, a good amount of time. Yeah, and I mean, I do A&R and I'm a stage manager for Respect the Underground out here in Arizona. So I surround
How many friends you got? How many friends you got right now in your life longer than 12 years?
for the last 12 years since I was 18. How many friends do I have? Less than a handful.
Right, correct. How many girlfriends have been with you for 12 years? Right. How many different things have been with you besides that music for that long? That's what I'm saying. So you can't discredit yourself and say, "Well, I haven't been doing it." It's the most consistent thing you've been doing in your life, and that's what I'm saying. Like the more you focus on it, and the more all you guys focus on what you're doing, is just going to get better and better and better. And then once we like we talked about, once you step back as an artist like yourself, right? If you've been performing that long, you have a mega hand up on 90% of the industry because 90% of the industry are people that sit in their room, put a phone up, and do it in front of their phone. It's mad different than when someone's looking at you just like this. Like, yo, I can't wait for you to fuck up. Just one time, fuck up. I'm gonna throw you off your whole game. It's different. It's different. So, kudos to you, man. Kudos to all y'all, man. Like even the way your setup is on your podcast, some people just throw some shit up because they can, and that's the big problem. It's because a lot of people just can. And yeah, you can drive 100 miles an hour the wrong way on a road with your lights off in the dark with a blindfold on. Should you? No, you fucking idiot. But you do it anyway because you know why? You can. So good for you guys for taking the time and trying to study the craft and get it, because those little small things can make a living for yourself. Same thing with an independent artist, man. Like, yo, dog, 4,000 people on my Instagram. If I get 25% of those people to interact with me and I interact with them correctly, and I can say, hey, I'm dropping an album here and I have a merchandise drop here, and I do that every month, I can potentially make $100,000. Just saying. So kudos to y'all is what I'm saying. Is the more that you take it serious, the closer to the payday that you get. And the payday, and you could have already passed your payday. And what I mean by that is you could have already overlooked something trying to get to the long picture. And now that you're here, you buy yourself time. Now you can look in the rear view. One of you look in the rear view and say, oh, look at that. We missed that gas station right there. Maybe we should go back there. So always remember that too. You know, sometimes if you don't step on those fingers on the ladder on the way up, there's always time to send someone back down to go look to make sure you ain't missed nothing. And so it's not bad as well either. You know, the military always moves front, take the foreground, and then make sure we got everything in between, right? So if them motherfuckers are doing it right, there's got to be a reason to that.
Yeah, man. Well, what do you got going on now? What's going on? What are you dropping? What's been happening in the last 2 years? Seems like you've been doing a lot. You've been pretty prolific. What's going on? What do we have to look forward to? What's going on right now?
I just dropped what's today? Sunday. I just dropped Friday record with R.A. the Rugged Man. So that's good. I don't know, for those that don't know, R.A., legendary MC, spans over 40 decades of rap. Records with everyone from fucking Cool G Rap to Biggie to fucking Atmosphere, Chris Rivers, Jim Knott to Afro, to all these people, including myself now. You know, it's huge. For me, that's big. You know, I got records with a lot of people. I got records with Papoose. Been on the road with Noriega from Drink Tramps. That was a great experience when he had the Good Belt Gang, Young Relly and all them. Sonogram. I got records, Torre, Mr. Fab. A lot of people. But with R, that's different. I met R when I was going through my divorce. I kind of like reached out to him in his camp about just getting on the road with them and being like, yo, I just gotta get my fucking mind right, and that kind of like changed my life. Went on a 35 city tour with R. The Rugged Man and Onyx on the I think it was the 30-year anniversary, the 25-year anniversary of Slam. Back the fuck up with Onyx. So, and that was a great experience. And out of that, I got friends from, Fredro Starr and Sticky. I got a record with Sticky, a song with Sticky, and then I got a song with Fredro over Fredro's beat. So, that's dope. But R. The Rugged Man, so we just dropped the song. Getting a lot of good love and a lot of good motion on that on Spotify and all the other streaming platforms.
What's the song?
Mighty Dollar.
Mighty Dollar. I was listening to it today. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
Yep. So and right now, it's for download. It's the Mighty Dollar plus tax. Unfortunately, they added that 29 cents on the thing. Get the $1. So there's another plan right there. Fucking being an independent artist that you work for so much, and then you just think you had one thing right and it didn't. So, but yeah, so it's available for download. Like I said, I appreciate everyone supporting with the economy today. I don't give a fuck if you spend the money, as long as you just enjoy the song and you can stream it. I'm good with that. So go check it out. All right, the Rugged Man, like I said, he's going to be on tour with Atmosphere, Sage Francis, Cool Keith, DJ Lala, Mr. Dibbs. We're going to be out there. I'm going to be with him as well. Shout out my brother Scrooge Owens. He'll be on the road with us some of the stops too. And we're going to be going around the country starting in January. So hopefully everyone that's watching, wherever you're at, man, if you're there, hit me up. Come out to the show, man. I'll fucking talk shit about you at the show, and I'll probably ask you if I can get some of your weed and fucking roll it up and smoke it and don't pass it to you.
Wait, I think you said before the show that are you working on your own weed product? Or are you doing something like that, or?
Well, shout out to Q. There's no Q. We're working on a situation called Quest for the Best, where I don't want to get all the way into it because we haven't got everything done. But basically, there's going to be a lot. Everyone talks about that we got loud or we got this or we got that, but fuck that, man. Like, as the hip hop culture, we need to start looking a little bit more into the trees, because there's a lot of people that smoke like sativa and fucking completely bug the fuck out and have no reason why they're like that, and it's because it's a head high, so it fucks you up. You know what I'm saying? So. And there's people that have reactions to certain things. So that's basically what we're doing. It's the quest for the best. And for me, weed is a big thing because I got a lot of my life fucked up over weed, and now you can have a doctor for $179 a year, Say that you need a weed card. You can go to a nice establishment and buy that shit and walk right about that motherfucker scot free.
Part of the reason I can't cross the border is because of these things I can show you on camera right now. Like, how crazy is that, bro?
And the craziest thing is that gets me is that at the end of the day, and I'll just leave this here where it's at, is that at the end of the day, do you think that like let's say a grocery store, do you think they would get in trouble if they went to Tylenol, took the Tylenol bottles out of the packaging, put smart candies inside of the bottle and named it themselves and then put it back in there and sealed it up and sold it as Tylenol as medicine? Do you think they would get in trouble for that? So why can these fucking companies put out complete trash weed that's not medicine and then label it as medicine and tax it as medicine and all that? So I do have a beef and a gripe with a lot of shit. So that's also why I want to do that. We're doing this as well. So it's not really like we're coming out with like a style of weed or a type or a brand or anything. It's more of a magnifying glass on it, of just like, let's talk more about this in the quest for the best. You know, a lot of people don't understand why their ash is bright white, or they don't understand why some of the trees feels hard or compressed, or it looks like this, or why the crystals are like this, or So it's just to spread and just spread information. That's really what it is. It's really what it's about.
I want to go back for a second on I mean, the amount of work you're putting in and all these different endeavors and into music and all that kind of stuff, I mean, do you think new artists should do the DIY thing, or do you think they should just give in, get on the label, man? Let the label handle all the business. Let them do all the things. How do you feel about that?
Listen, if you can find a label that's going to spend the money, that's going to be worth it, and it's going to put into your career, go for it. Because once again, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. Like I said earlier, maybe I should have shut my mouth while Corey and I were in one of those meetings. We got the mass exposure, and now when it swings around, now I got 200,000 followers that I can start working the business to, right? Or when you start your business, you're brick and mortar and you're working your way from the ground up, that's when you really become a pillar of the community in the area that you're at. So, when people were in the Double XL or in the Source magazine with me, they thought things were going to come with it. I understood that you took that and you go out to doors with that. You knock doors with the, hey, you should let me fucking rebuild your house. Because look, I was in Top Builders magazine. Look what they said about me right here. While you're reading that, I'm hitting you with a sales pitch. So my personal opinion is, do what the fuck you got to do to get to where you're trying to go. And with that being said, is if your path could include potentially doing a record deal, great. I don't see anyone doing or getting a record deal now, especially with the watering down of the Billboard charts and everything like that. I just don't see that happening. With the DIYs, just the do it yourself shit is just easier, man. I mean, you can go get a fucking website and you can just go like, yo, if you can't get on the big shows, go like I did. Go stand in front of the shows that are having shows and be like this. Excuse me, my fault. My face is on your shit. Yo, hand your flyer out. Yo, I got a new song. Here, take this. Yo, I got a new song. Here, take this. It's all about branding. That's all it is. Same thing that they do on the internet. They just you keep seeing those instant reel videos of people all the time over and over again. So hand your flyer out. Go put it on the car. Go into the bathroom, put your flyers in the bathroom. Why the bathroom? That's where everyone's at most of the time. And they stay stable for the most time when you're in like a venue or a club or whatever. And just do that. DIY is the best because it's the longest grind, but it's going to be the most fruitful. And I've never seen like one of them TikTok viral people sustain. Like I just never seen it happen. So, and the labels are not. I mean, I think the gig's up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've ever seen anyone really be successful fully in the hip hop industry except for a handful. A lot of other genres are very smart. I mean, they'll go off, they'll get their they'll record deal, they'll do two records. One of them will have a big song, they'll do their thing, and then when they're done, they get a little piece of the performance rights or the royalty off the record, and they tour for the rest of their lives. So, like I'm with a guy right now that, like I said, 4 decades of hip hop, and we're getting ready to go on the first big tour of 2026 with Live Nation, 27 cities. So, I'm blessed with that too, because who the fuck is getting out on the road like that, man? Like it's tough, man. Like with the streaming thing, streaming's different, man. You got people that are giving the phone to their kids, shut the fuck up, man, and the song just happens to be on there and it goes over 1,000,000 times, or little kids play it, or other countries play it that cannot be accessible to where you're performing at. But if you go out to these different places, just like I was saying, being in Annapolis, yeah, it was tough, but it was good because I could get to 10 major cities within 3 hours. So if I build a network in those 10 cities, now I can go build up my name to get $300 a city, do it once every 2 months, and I just made $1,500 a month off rap music. I'm saying it's not. I'm not a millionaire, but I mean, at that point in time, I was paying every bill that I motherfucking had. So it's freedom, gentlemen. It's all about freedom. It's not about how much money you got, how much time you got. Always remember that.
I think maybe this is probably one of the final questions here. Let's talk about AI, dude. What's going on, man? Are we even gonna have real rappers anymore, or is it all gonna be AI creations? What's going on?
All right, so here's a little background story about Bullet Brak that you probably didn't know. Bullet Brak worked for Major League Baseball for 3 years. I was on an initiative that only included under 100 people called Automated Balls and Strikes. And it was basically analytical data that's collected on pitches and strikes inside of the strike zone so the catcher can challenge said umpire on any given call, any given play during the day. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? Well, what that is basically what AI is. AI goes and collects all this intelligence and it comprises something for you, right? So the robot in baseball that we were putting all this information into the strike zones and all this, it can do that. You know what I'm saying? It can antiquate, it can all the way down to the percentage of how many times that ball was thrown in there. But when the ball is hit, the screen's off. So what I'm saying by that is AI can write songs. AI can do this. Let me ask you a question. How many people you know that went to them hologram concerts they had?
None.
Okay. Right. So what they can't do is AI can't rock a stage. AI can't get drunk on stage and drop beer on your face. I've seen that happen, and I've seen the crowd go fucking completely crazy over the shit. Um, AI can't create the feeling, and that's what it's really gonna boil down to, is that AI can't create the feeling.
So here's the problem though, bro, is that like they AI was kind of in a trash spot with music for a long time, but I've heard songs that I didn't know were created with AI and they've given me chills and then the person's like, "Yeah, this is created with AI."
You learn something new every day. So now now you're providing me information that's contrary on what I've heard. So that's a good thing because that's what learning is all about, is sharing experiences and ideas, right? But still, no matter how much you love that song, no matter how much that song meant to
Well, I'll never play it again now.
well, that, but even if you didn't know that, if it came out and you were hyped and you were telling your man, yo, the song I fuck with, yo, it's gonna be a performance. They coming to town, and then you go and look and you see it's fucking Harry the hologram. The feeling's gone. As they say in the Top Gun movie, you've lost that love and feeling, and now it's gone. It's gone. Yes, it's gone.
Well, this is where we get into Elon Musk's robots. How long before they're wearing skin? And then when they're wearing skin and rocking stadiums, because they learned all their motions and emotions from us.
It's gonna be a generational thing. At some point, for sure, next 2 or 3 generations, it'll all be Daft Punk. But until then, I think for at least 10 years, until we boomers die out, we'll want a human soul to be making that music, I think.
I think so. I think, and I can 100% agree with that. Also, just being in the world of when I worked at like UPS and seeing the world of automation come in, like on a major scale, major corporation type shit, was is I can agree with that as well. I think once like that's really how all long play dynasties, companies, anything is they can outlast the human memory. That's the major thing. Is that once the generation dies off, then you can implement all this stuff because no one's seen it before. You get what I'm kind of saying a little bit? So in 20 years, I was married once. I had a stepdaughter, and she was at the age and this was like 4 or 5 years ago. She was like 9, 10 years old. So she was going through the stage of the Fortnite and all this shit where I'm looking at it and I'm talking to my ex-wife now, but my wife at the time and going, yo, look how they're pre-programming this generation to be solely dependent on digital currency. Like you got to put the money, you got to translate the money to the Robux with the Rofucks or whatever it's called, and then you spend it that way digitally. I'm like, this is all pre-programming made through fun. So in reality, the AI through the fun and like I believe honestly that the hologram performances, that was like a test, you know, like a shock test to see how people now would respond to it. And I agree with exactly what you said. The pushback was like, we'll wait about 15 more years and tighten this fucking thing all the way up. And then like y'all said, it's going to be, you won't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like you, and at that point, the way things are going now, you won't even care. Who gives a fuck now? Yo, back all the shit they was trying to implement with the digital IDs and the biometric face scans. Yo, if they had done that 20 years ago, man, but a major uprise. Like right now, it's like, who gives a fuck?
Bro, people are like, I'd love to put my ID on my phone, bro. They're like, I don't want to carry anything but my phone. Can I do everything through it?
I mean, that's kind of me, man. I'm like,
See, exactly. See,
golly, you know how many times I carry that stupid passport through the airport, and then I'm like, where'd I put my passport?
so what, bro? So the fuck what?
Steal my ID, bro, I'll give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, no one gives a flying fuck. We live in a stone cold reality show that no one tunes into anymore. So that means like the whole world is just doing the most drastic, fucking dumbest Jersey Shore season 19 shit in the world. It's completely ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's cooked. No one gives a fuck. Oh, it's gonna be Satan could literally walk out right now and be like, I'm running for president. People would be like, I mean, if you can get lower gas prices, no one gives a flying fuck anymore. No one cares. I don't care. Cool. Whatever. Sign us up.
Get us that Epstein list and find Satan. You're
I mean that's that you bring that up, like that's even a fucking like a comical joke, right? Like the people that we, but seriously though, right? Like all jokes aside, once again, I'm like a historian when it comes to like mob. Like I'm a big baseball fan, so I like love the baseball, the history of the baseball shit. If we just look at like how people are coming up with like fucking, first off, the nicknames that both sides of this crook society that we call politics go back and forth with, like the name calling, the fucking, like, yo, bro, like gangsters wouldn't do this shit. Them old Italians wouldn't do this shit. People in fucking street politics, they don't do this shit. You know, they handle this shit like men. It's respectable to a point, so we're not a fucking laughable stock. It's just a look. So to say they exist, they don't exist, people are in them, they're not in them. Oh, it's a Democrat thing, it's a Republican thing. No, motherfucker. Let me tell you something. If you was flying kids to an island to fuck them, dogs, bitch, you gonna go prison. Point blank, I ain't no rat. I don't do none of that shit. I ain't no snitch. Bitch, if you're number one, if you're dumb enough to leave evidence behind on some major scale shit like that, to jail you go. And at the end of the day, to like play with our intelligence and like put all this little shit out. Well, we dropped the information. Well, we didn't. Motherfucker, if I know that my favorite artist put a mixtape out, how don't I know if these files have not came out? Like, come on, man. Is it being ran by Columbia Music? Why the fuck haven't they released that? Why didn't they drop it? So once again, it's just like playing with our intelligence and our emotions just to continuously cook us out. It's like being in a bad relationship. This bitch just won't act right, but at the end of the day, do I really want to leave and start my life all the way over again? Which, unfortunately, we could talk about mental health because that's a lot of fucking things that a lot of men are stuck with. You know, everyone talks about how women aren't fucking treated like fucking Snow White, which whatever, you know. But my whole thing is the dude that's behind there cooking himself the fuck out to be kicked to the dust in about 5 years because the internet once again spreads all these fucking false narratives about everyone got options, and you know now you're cooked out and you're just done. You just go with the flow, and the only things that do that is dead fish. So you know with social media, man, like you said with the AI, you don't even know it's real no more, man. And for us, we know because we're behind. We see what happens on Adobe Premiere and all these other things and what you can do with it, and we still don't know. That's the spooky shit. You know what I'm saying? So you know, God bless them, man, because really that's what they want anyway. They just want kids that are gonna push buttons, let the robots do it, and then fuck it, we'll figure it out. I mean, that's really the world spirit right now. Fuck, we'll figure it out. Fuck it, just let's make it through the day. That's a scary place to be.
Yeah, because the whole world's assed out now, bro.
You know, the whole world's living paycheck to paycheck, supposed to speak. You know what I'm saying? So all it's gonna take is one hiccup, and
If that, bro. If that. Like, motherfuckers are like deciding, should I eat this week or should I pay rent? Like,
and then you got so much negative energy going through the just what we this place that we live at right now. Like for what? And it's like, you know, everyone's like conspiracy theory, distraction, this. I'm like, okay, let's just take it down to the basics. all this shit just spreads stress. That's why the society has so much disease, infection, sickness, mental disease, fucking physical disease. It's because everything is a stress component, man. You stress that you're gonna oversleep for work. Then you stress that you forgot your shit. Then you stress that you forgot your keys. Then you get in the car. Oh shit, I forgot I had a meeting. Then you get there. Oh shit, I forgot what time the meeting was. Then it's oh shit, I forgot I had to go do something with the family. Oh shit, this again. Yo, you live in constant stress, man.
Bro, that's a think about the word disease is dis-ease. You're at dis-ease.
When's the last time you just relaxed, man? You can't. And especially this shit, like, yo, the hustle mentality is crazy, especially like in the hip hop type quote quote, like the hip hop life. Is because everyone's like, yo, you gotta hustle, you gotta hustle, you gotta hustle, you gotta hustle, and then little do you know, by the time you slow down and stop, you're done. All your motion, your body is cooked. I'm lucky that at the age of 42, I can do what I do physically and move around and everything. I see so many people that I went to school with that I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm rocking a stage. I'm doing this. I'm going, we get in the car. We're driving this. And I look at some people. I'm like, these motherfuckers are just struggling to get out of bed. Like, you're breathing hard to put the shoes on. Jesus. So you got to be careful of that too, because damn, look at all these people in the medical system that take care of like people our parents' age and everything like that, right? When they kick the bucket, who the fuck is taking care of us when we get older? I'll wait. I hope they get some robots that know what the fuck they're doing, because if not, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's our only hope.
So on that point, and on that note, before humanity goes to shit, and before humanity goes to shit and the whole world burns down, make sure to go to www.bulletbrak.com and get your last song preservation preserver right now for $1.29. That's right, you can get the mighty dollar plus tax right now for your listening pleasure as the world burns. Thank you again, and this is sponsored by Bullet Brak at gofuckyourself.com.
Well, I do want to end on a positive note, even after all that. There's a quote um, that you cite, and I think there's a story behind it. You say, "Dreams do come true." After all this shit, you still have this optimistic idea of dreams coming true. Can you kind of tell the story behind that, and what does that mean to you, man?
Yo, my grandfather, and I still got it. My grandfather was, I'll send you a picture of it, was one of my biggest inspirations because he was fucking whatever, just came from nothing, did his thing. He always used to tell me, man, if you shoot for the moon, fuck it, you miss it, you're gonna fall in the stars, right? Always go for your thing. He always used to have quarters. He ran a pool hall. He always had quarters in his pocket. And when he died, someone told me he was my guardian angel, right? So he would always tell me too, dreams do come true. You know what I'm saying? Make them happen though. They come true because you got to make them happen. I was in Arizona chasing this music shit. My grandfather died back home. I was talking to a girl. Her name was Johnny Wilson. Shout out to Johnny. She might watch this. I was talking to her on the phone, and she was like, "Yo, how do you feel?" I said, "Yo, I feel like the people that told me I gained an angel." Yo, I was walking up and down the street that was no more than 100 feet. It was a dead end, and then there was an opening to a cul-de-sac, so I could see everything on the street. Nothing moved, nothing like that. No one came by, nothing. Around the ninth or 10th time I walked up and down the street, I saw a coin. It was shining in the light on the ground. I went over, I told her in the middle of the talk, I said, yo, there's a coin on the ground shining. I don't know where it came from. Went over there, I was all fucked up in my head. Bro, I picked up the coin. It had a fingerprint under the angel. The angel was on top of the coin. I'll send you pictures. On top of the fingerprint, on the back, it said, dreams do come true. It was the exact size as a quarter, and it was cut out of sheet metal. I took it to like 4 or 5 different coin collectors in the Phoenix Mesa area. 2 of them gave me the coin back and said, yo, take it away. Take it away. And I was like, wow, what's wrong with it? They were like, just, it's weird. The whole story you told me and everything like that, if the story's true, just take it away. Just keep it as a good luck charm. And I got 2 answers like that. And I still got the coin to this day. After that, I got on a plane 3 weeks later. I flew back to Maryland. I set my thing up and I dropped a mixtape 2 months later. And then now I'm talking to y'all. So dreams do come true. Because I was a piece of shit that was supposed to go to jail because thought I was a street tough. And I thought I knew every fucking thing that I was to know. To go back to that studio session when I just should have just shut the fuck up and used the 2 ears instead of the 1 mouth. So that's what takes it back. And dreams do come true. And everyone does have a guardian angel. And you can hear more by downloading Mighty Dollar right now on iTunes by Boy. But but the dreams do come true, and you just got to put the fucking work in, man. And sometimes, yo, it doesn't feel like it's not happening. And guess what? Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Keep putting work in, because you just got to keep digging. So that's what that is, and that's a true story. And really, I found that shit, and I just took it for what it was. And I just use that as being like, yo, I ain't gonna let no one like that worked hard to put me in a position like down. So that's what it is. That's why I'm still 42 years old with gray hair and my beard trying to do rap music.
Hey, listen, man. Perfect. That's a much better ending than the fucking let's wait for the robots to kill us all and
Oh, they're
take
still
over
gonna
the
kill
earth.
us all though. But at the end of the day, at least there's a good story for me to go along with it while you buy my stuff on iTunes. You know what I mean? There we go.
All right. Well, listen, man. First of all, this has been a fantastic interview. Thank you so much for all the time and energy you've spent. Great stories and hilarious as fuck, man. For real.
Appreciate
We
y'all.
toast the goats on this show. So cheers to you, good sir.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Don't drink and drive neither, motherfucker. If you do, make sure you either call the GOATS DUI Lawyer Protection Service, and I can be your mouthpiece. Bullet Brak will be there to serve you with a 50% discount. Thank you very much. Just use promo code GO50 at the discount counter.